So here's a clip of the bird brain babble that took place on The View not too long ago.
Sarah didn't get a chance to weigh in on the topic of what happened in Maine and AR-15s.
Yeah, I would love to see an assault weapons ban. Like President Reagan, I don't believe they're a sport or hunting instrument. It's like shooting fish in a bucket, but that's my take.
But also, if you shoot with an AR-15, let's say you shoot a deer, you can't eat it. Because you basically demolish
in addition
the
to that, but the hunt is about an actual difficult process, not massacring bodies of any kind. But my point is, I'd love to see.
Honestly, the amount of brazen misinformation that is allowed on The View is criminal and dangerous. It's not even misinformation at this point. It's just rabid bird brain stupidity. And this shit has got to stop. Saying you can't eat the deer because the AR-15 demolishes the animal is like saying cow farts is causing global warming. Oh, wait, someone did say that.
So like I had a staffer, release a document that talked about cow flatulence, but
which is an issue. I just want to say,
an issue. But here's
it sounds
the thing.
ridiculous, but it literally is an issue.
But it actually is an issue when it comes to contributing to methane.
Right.
But that doesn't mean you end cows. It means that we need. What it means is that we need to innovate and change our grain, our cow grain from which. Then
again, AOC is the queen bee of bird brain logic. So Joy Behar is in common company. But that's beside the point. The AR-15 shoots a .223 Remington bullet, which is possible to hunt deer with a .223 Remington rifle. However, it is important to note that the .223 Remington is not typically considered a deer hunting cartridge and is not legal for deer hunting in some states. Now, these states don't ban hunting deer with a .223 because it demolishes the deer. It's literally the complete opposite. The main concern with using a .223 Remington bullet for deer hunting is that it may not have enough power to cleanly and ethically take down a deer. Deer are relatively large animals and they require a bullet with enough energy and momentum to penetrate deeply and cause sufficient damage to vital organs. While the .223 Remington can be effective for deer hunting under the right conditions, it is generally considered a marginal cartridge for this purpose. Crying out loud. The smallest caliber for deer hunting is typically considered to be in the .22 range, with the .223 being the lowest end option that is legal for deer hunting in some states. So when it comes to guns that demolish a deer, the AR-15 isn't even close. It's literally at the bottom end of choices to merely kill a deer, much less demolish it. People like Joy Behar get so lost in the pomp and circumstance of how the AR-15 looks and sounds, they don't realize that the bullet the AR-15 fires is no bigger than a micro SD card. They think the whole cartridge is something that goes out of the gun. And even if the entire cartridge was going out of the gun, it's no bigger. It's half the size or less than half the size of a Sharpie. So the AR-15 isn't demolishing anything. Deers on average are larger, heavier, and stronger than a human. And AR-15s don't demolish humans when they're shot. What I'm not saying is that the AR-15 is not a powerful weapon. It indeed is. It is a much better criminal stopper than a handgun is, which is why it's the most popular rifle bought by Americans for self-defense. I don't run from the fact that the AR-15 was made to defend against humans and has the added value of being a good hunting rifle depending on the animal and a damn good rifle for sporting and recreational purposes. People like Joy Behar and even the other lady in this video love to wax bird brain poetry about how the AR-15 was designed for war. And to that I say, okay. The Second Amendment was written so the people can defend this country against a possible tyrannical government, foreign or domestic. And the definition of war is a state of armed conflict between different nations or states or different groups within a nation or state. If the people ever had to fight against a tyrannical government, foreign or domestic, that would be a war. You really think the founders wrote the Second Amendment so the people could fight a possible tyrannical government with guns designed for hunting only or sports and recreation? This attempt to Disney-fy guns and what it would take to defend this country needs to stop. The reality is the Second Amendment has nothing to do with hunting or sport shooting, and has everything to do with using guns to possibly have to kill people to protect this country. Yourself and the people you love, and even strangers. It's not always pretty. In fact, it usually isn't pretty, but that's the reality of protecting the people and the country we love.
You know how frightening it is to think about what happens in the moments before, during, and even days after having to use your gun in self-defense? When you first start carrying a gun for protection, it can be a very scary and nerve-wracking experience, especially if you haven't gotten the education and training you need to feel confident. I've been there myself, hoping I never have to go through a self-defense shooting, which is why I'm a member of the USCCA. As a USCCA member, you can eliminate some of the stress of carrying a gun for protection by accessing the amazing wealth of firearm education, training, and current state-specific gun laws of your state or states you may travel to. This can help you be prepared for, or hopefully even avoid, a self-defense incident. As a bonus, members automatically become insured on the self-defense liability insurance policy purchased by and issued to the USCCA. Click below to learn more.
Guns aren't political. That's why I need your help getting this message to spread on YouTube by clicking the thumbs up button, leaving a comment to let me know what you think of the video, then subscribing to the channel. But most importantly, click that bell symbol. For products featured in this video, click the links in the description.